Welcome back to Persona 3. Last time, we reached floor 25 of Tartarus, didn't quite fight the boss, but we got a good amount of requests completed and fused ourselves lots of new personas for the upcoming week. Now, you will want to make sure that you have a Magician persona and a Hermit persona coming into the next few days. Also, we're actually going to be needing a Justice persona quite soon, like I said. We also need to make sure we still have our Mitama for Chariot, and we will be needing Strength quite soon too, so a good thing to have those as well. So, let's end the day and continue on to Sunday. And this Sunday, we're going to be doing the same thing we did, well, for most of our Sundays so far. And of course, we're still tired on a day when we have no school, so it doesn't matter. And it's a new moon today. 15 days until the next full moon, when something will likely happen. Well, every Sunday I like to go down here as well and check the TV. Just remember that. I still can't believe that apparently all of the Featherman titles are references to an actual Sentai show. No one seems to be here, but we can check the TV for... On the next episode of Phoenix Ranger Featherman R! Episode 14, Love Bomb! Sometimes the only strategy for victory is an abject apology? And now the news. Yeah. I'm wondering if Love Bomb is a Tokimeki Memorial reference or something like that. Might be. I remember that one parody in anime. Who puts a bomb in a dating game? Apparently that mechanic is quite annoying, but I have not played any of those games, so I wouldn't know. The other one that really interests me is that fantasy-themed one, that Mitsumete Knight, which I would really like if it got a fan translation, but apparently... So yes, we're going to be playing the MMO today. Though first I want to check the TV. Apparently that one, again, fantasy dating sim, has a really depressing plot. And, yes, Tanaka's show... All-purpose apron. And more diet food. We do have a lot of money, but I think with the high cut armor, we're pretty much set for armor at this point. Speaking of which, high cut armor, yeah, that's going to be a treat next time we get to Tartarus. Also, yeah, make sure that you have your Motu Shikome with you when you do this, because we need it at this point in the link. Maya hasn't signed on. And now she's here. Yeah, that's always a problem. And, okay, this is hilarious. The best option to say here is, why don't we get married? We go to Polonia every night. Why didn't we see her? Must have been a night when we were at Tartarus, man. Oh, wow, that guy's a jerk. I hope that guy gets punched in the face. Oh, also, I had to look this up, an OTL, you might think that it's an acronym, it's actually not. It's an emoticon that represents someone, like, kneeling on the ground on their hands and knees. It's sort of like an apology thing, or an expression of feeling sorry for something. Huh. Oh, right. I love that, using a health potion when you're already at full health. I found out recently that Blaine could do that in the Pokemon Generation 1 games. Because they were really dumb when programming his AI. must be like, I mean, what can you give to people in an MMO to express gratitude? I mean, I guess you could, like, trade them, you know, materials or things like that, or gold, or... I haven't really played MMO, so I don't really know exactly how that would work. But we have raised the Hermit social link. Also, La Mayonnaise. Yeah, one of the weirdest pieces of online slang I've ever heard. Huh. You'll know because he talks like a woman. This is kind of interesting because without voice acting, you really can't hear that. And the English text doesn't really make that obvious. So that almost feels like... Oh, yeah. It almost feels like that they could have conveyed that a little bit better. Maybe in the Japanese text it was a little more obvious. We'll see when we actually get to this person, because we've been told about an older man outside Polonium Mall at night. And because that's in red text, we know that's important. Next time we're down there, maybe we should check it out. Also, speaking of next time we're down there, that's gonna be immediately the next day, because Hermit Social Link means we use up the entire day. Yes, we're still tired and sick. That's good. Oh no, exam results are posted today. You know, it'd be... Junpei probably hopes that he is sick today, so he doesn't have to go in and see them. Wonder how well Yukari did. She seemed to be studying pretty well. Well, I think we know exactly what happened. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Would be a good thing, though, if they're kind of weak. Wondering how exactly they contribute to the team. And we haven't had one of these in a while. In fact, I think since this is our first day back after exams, this is the first time we've had one of these since we've been back. Or not. Wait a minute. It's not a social link scene, it's the results of exams. So we answered all the questions correctly, but we only have rank 2 academics. You need rank 3 academics to get the best result in this exam. And if you do, you'll get a reward from Mitsuru. But since we have rank 2, we earned a pretty high score. So we did okay. This also gives you a charm boost. But yeah, that's how your academics affects it. Even though I answered all the questions correctly, I couldn't get the best score because academics wasn't high enough. Every exam has a particular academics requirement to get the best score, and you actually do need to get the best score in at least one in order to unlock one of the social links. But by the time we get to the final exam, we'll almost certainly have maxed academics, so that's not really an issue. Anyway. Oh, kanji dictation. Do not remind me. Oh, in Japanese classes, that was always just terrible for me. This is just a bit of a thing, probably just with my class, but at university, they did these kanji dictation tests where you'd hear something and you had to write it down in kanji. Now, normally this doesn't sound so bad, were it not for the fact that I was the only non-Asian in the class, so I was the only one who did not have a kanji background. And so they obviously tailored the course to the people who did have an Asian background, and yeah, that was a bit frustrating for me. I was kind of expected to study much more than everyone else, because they didn't seem to understand how I really didn't have an experience with kanji. They didn't even bother teaching you kanji at that level as well, because they assumed that you all knew it. It's kind of interesting that they give something like this, though. It's a pretty serious topic. As long as you wrote something down, they gave them credit for it. Yeah, there are questions like that sometimes. Reminds me of, there was a website dedicated to showcasing funny exam answers, and some people put some pretty silly things on questions like that. Oh yeah, there totally isn't any bullying here, and this totally isn't foreshadowing. And, like always, we're gonna stay awake. Yeah, and button, however, are all basically the same thing. Can't believe I didn't realize that until relatively recently. When I was learning about logical conjunctions, actually. Oh, I still feel sorry for anyone who has to learn English. I still say that if English was not my first language, I would hate it. It's just such a stupid language. All the rules make no sense. And so, it's Monday today, and it's after school. Also, people might say different things, depending on... Yeah. Oh, you were looking at the test results? Not bad. Mitsuru will be relieved. She was expecting the worst. We did okay, I guess. Good starting point. I'd say that's what... And Junpei is not even here. I dread to think what he'd say. I lost track of what we were supposed to do today for a second there, but I just realized that because we're sick, we need to go to the school nurse anyway. We're actually almost maxed on courage, so hopefully if we... Oh, also, you really want to talk to Yandere students. Because she's getting a little bit more extreme. Oh, if only she knew. Going around town with Mitsuru at midnight, if you're not a Persona user, is probably not going to end well for you. Okay then. Yeah, she's officially crazy. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show, basically. Ah. Lots of bad things are happening these days. Teachers getting injured, accidents, kidnappings. Almost feels like something's just... something's starting up again. So here's where the results are posted. And if we want, we can peek at the other people's scores. So let's look at Yukari. About average, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, Junpei. Yeah, that was to be expected. As for the senior scores... Akihiko did well. Probably because he, had to spend most of his time studying because he couldn't do much else, and Mitsuru. Of course she did. Yeah, pretty much all the results that you'd expect. But let's go and take the weird lethal medicine again. Thankfully we can stop doing this soon. And around that point, we can actually start sleeping at night at a reasonable hour rather than trying to get tired. And speaking of doing things that are probably bad for your health, we're going to be seeing the Chariot social link today. So he's in our class, although no, it's still probably faster to go to the classroom. I mean, we could stop by the persimmon tree if we went the other way, but a little bit more convenient to go this way. Yeah, something's not right here. Make sure that you have a matching persona this time. If you don't, you can always go into town and go to the Velvet Room and get one from the Compendium. I haven't quite mentioned that yet since we got the Compendium, but that is often very, very helpful if you need a certain persona for a specific day. That's why it's always a good idea to have the lowest level persona of each arcana registered. Just in case you don't have one, you can just go to the Velvet Room and buy one cheaply from the compendium. Certain someone isn't here again, and that's really not good. That's even worse than last time. He must have been at the hospital again. Oh, they weren't good, were they? Here, the best response is let him use your shoulder. This is pretty serious, though. That's worrying. They're probably going to find out sooner or later, and it's probably a good thing if they do. For now, though, it's still a secret. But Kaz is still stubbornly refusing to get help about it, and this does play into the imagery of the Chariot Arcana. If he keeps training like this, it might get even worse. This is gonna have to stop soon.
Where have you been?
Well, let's talk to everyone about exams. Yeah, I get that. Every time you go to Tartarus, you can't study, so... Thankfully, we only go to Tartarus once a week at this point, but we're not studying, we're focused on maxing courage. Yeah, like I said, he's had to spend all his time studying since he can't really do much else. Also, tonight's a no Tartarus day, but doesn't really matter since we weren't planning on going anyway. Oh, poor Junpei. Yeah, I'd be pretty depressed too if I was in his position. Huh? Interesting. Huh. And while the possibility of that being Maya would be simultaneously hilarious and disturbing, think about it for a moment. I doubt a 92-year-old would be getting drunk and talking about how their mother wants them to get married. So, the chances of that person actually being Maya are quite low. But, now that we're in Polonium Mall, there's this guy standing here. Hey, you look kind of familiar. A handsome young man who will drive housewives wild. Of course, Gary Stu steps up to the plate. This is the man that Maya was talking about, but I forgot about this. You need a higher charm stat in order to talk to him. You need to be smooth, which I think is rank 4 charm, which we're nowhere near. We're still rank 1. So, this was the thing I was talking about, that we might need more money soon. I forgot that you needed more charm to talk to him. This is actually one of the 2 nighttime social links in this game. Nighttime social links are interesting because they don't take up, well, they do take up the evening, but they never conflict with the schedule for other social links. So, you're basically free to do them whenever you want, because, like I said, they never conflict with the schedule for anyone else. I would rather start them a bit later, though, because at the moment we're just so focused on maxing courage, and later on we'll be more focused on maxing things like charm and stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have time to talk to Kenji. Unless the guide says night event, phone call, and then that social link, which it doesn't for today, you have to decline. Thankfully, they don't get mad at you for doing that. They only get mad at you if you accept and don't follow through. We're not feeling well, but let's study anyway, in the hope that we carry over our sickness to the next day and are able to drink even more medicine. We'll actually be introduced to more nighttime social links this week. In fact, the second one we actually can start now if we want to, but I might want to leave it a little later when we're not as much in a rush to max stats. Yes, our cold is still here. That's a rare sentence, but we need to max out courage. Oh, great. Junpei's still going to be a downer, isn't he? Oh, yeah, you can practically hear his disappointment there. I suppose we could try and make him feel better. And of course, Junpei's back to his usual self once he hears that we're going to be getting another girl on our team soon. Maybe he should be careful what he wishes for, though. Anyone who's played this game will know what I mean. Now we actually have a lunchtime sequence. Well, he seems happy. Huh, did something happen during that private lesson? We actually are seeing him today, by the way. Meanwhile, Kaz is the opposite. He's not feeling that great. So I guess today we just have those two available. There is one more thing that we need to do, well, after getting the medicine. So we are seeing Kenji today, but first we're gonna, again, get the medicine. But on the way, there's a certain someone that we need to talk to a second time. She seems a little more confident. We need to say hello here. Hey, she's actually getting more courage. That's great. Starting to wonder if she's been seeing karaoke every night and taking that weird medicine. So, here's a point where Penguin Knight's guide actually has the response wrong. It says that you say, let's walk home together this time. That's actually not for now, that's for later. Here, we actually have to say, let's go out. Don't worry, we'll be going out for real soon. Shut up, Carrie Stu! Yes, he's seducing his way through the school pretty quickly. Even though he currently has a terrible cold. Also, I just noticed that the students here, the Stalker and the Stalkee here, are gone. Wonder if they're somewhere else. Also, Hidetoshi of the Emperor links here. To inform you there's no meeting today, so you can't do his link. Yeah, I guess it's not really the same. Also, if we talk to Mitsuru here, she actually is saying the exact same thing that she used to. There's this guy here, and I don't know if I've talked to this guy before. So he talks about the weird medicine. But if you decline, he mentions that he busts out another weird medicine. This is a hint that if you do say no to the weird medicine, you actually get a recovery item out of it. A, like, legitimate, non-weird medicine. I might be able to show that after with max courage. For now, we're taking the weird medicine again. Now, soon we might actually be seeing a little more of Mr. Edogawa, and then I'll be able to talk about him a little bit. Because I find him a very interesting character. Personally, I'm surprised there aren't more theories around him, but you'll see why I mention that soon. Courage isn't max just yet, but we are getting there. And now, speaking of people who are... Well, we don't actually know if Kenji is going out with someone at the moment, but he seems happy, so maybe he is. We're going to talk to Kenji now. And this is why I made sure to fuse Jack Frost, because we need a magician persona for this. Oh, also, yeah, he's going to say this first. This is actually a hint at how the romance system works in this game. That's referencing how if you agree to meet someone on a weekend and say no, they will go reverse. And this is also referencing that. Also, yeah, never leave them hanging means don't not see them for a long time, which is 60 days normally, but if someone catches you walking home with another girl, it cuts down that number of days. I'll explain this in detail later. Kind of interesting because you'll see. And yes, we have Jack Frost, so we're going to meet with him. And we're at Wild Duck Burger again. Remind me why we even go here? When I first saw that message, I was worried that I got a generic spend time conversation, but it's actually not. So, I find it interesting that he mentioned Emiri by her first name there, and now he's only just telling us that that's Miss Kano's first name, but we could pretty much figure that out. Anyway. Meanwhile, Gary Sue's like, damn it! Gary Stu agrees. And yes, I agree is the best answer here. Oh, hey, he's being nice here. Once again, Gary Stu is a secret keeper. And this is rank 5. I kept thinking that we did rank 5 of this earlier. Though I actually don't think we see this link again for quite a while. We're going to be starting a whole lot of new social links soon. So yes, we just slowly back away and end the conversation. Now in the evening, it's a Tuesday, so we can do the...
Where have you been?
The arcade. Now, I actually would like to go to Tartarus sometime soon. Although being sick, that's not good, especially since we have to do a boss fight immediately. Oh, interesting. Inflation is always annoying. Yeah, that might be nice. Unless you knew who Fuka was. Anyway, I didn't say anything. So yeah, Akihiko has good accuracy with his fist weapons. Although if he does miss, he does get knocked down, just like other melee users. Fist weapons are a little weak in terms of power, but have better accuracy. On the field, they're very fast, so it's easy to get first strikes against shadows with them. They're one of my favourite weapons to use on the protagonist besides swords, actually. Oh, right, and today was also the day we needed to get a triangular sword from Mitsuru. Good thing I talked to her. So what exactly is a triangular sword? I was curious about that. Oh, right, it's something mundane, a fencing epee. Funny thing, when I was back in high school doing fencing, because that was one of the closest things to a sport that I could actually do, my fencing teacher told me that I'd be good with epees. I never actually got a chance to try that out because I kind of had to quit that. Got too busy with other things. They said that I had a huge advantage because I was left-handed. Left-handed fencers and apparently boxers are often quite confusing for right-handers to fight because they completely throws off their a lot of their assumptions about where attacks are going to come from. As a downside, though, a lot of 3DS games that have dual stylus and circle pad controls are really, really not kind to me for being left-handed. Kind of have to basically do them right-handed for the most part. But now that we've got the fencing epee, we can go and turn that request into the Velvet Room, and that was a timed one, so I'm glad we got that done. My first playthrough, I actually missed one of those party member requests like that, which was frustrating, because you really don't need anything to do them besides just talking to the right person on the right day. And it's usually obvious who you need to talk to. So, thankfully, that was the triangular sword Elizabeth was talking about. Used for the final rounds of fencing matches, huh? Yeah, back in the day, it used to be about who drew blood first. Okay. I've forgotten about this line! Yeah, Elizabeth is amazing. Oh, I love Elizabeth's dialogue so much. That gives us 2 protection sutras. I think they cast a defensive buff on you. I've kind of forgot about what they do. Let's check what other requests we've got. Again, Jack Brothers. I don't think we're even high enough level to get the other Jack. Steel Metal. I guess we could do that. That's a request for one of the joke weapons. Valkyrie with Tarakaja. I wish I'd known about that before I made Valkyrie in second old document. Okay, so we've actually done most of them, and I think that's the only one that's still timed that we have left. And I also found out that, the next block in Tartarus is actually kind of far in. I might need to do more Tartarus than usual to get there. And soon we might have more time to do Tartarus, because today's a Tuesday, so it's Horror House time. And hopefully... Oh, courage didn't go up, okay. We're almost there, but not quite there. If we're still sick tomorrow, we might actually max out courage. Though I probably don't want to be, because we actually need to go to Tartarus tomorrow or Thursday. Actually, no, wait. We actually need to go to Tartarus tomorrow or Friday. Because, I'll just say this now, for some reason, this Saturday is a no Tartarus day. So, I'll want to go either Wednesday or Friday, if I max courage by then, because if I have max courage, that there's something on Thursday that we can do. And of course we recovered. Oh well, there's always karaoke. We skip straight to after school. That's kind of rare. Okay then, interesting. Now today, okay, yeah, since we're not tight. Okay, we're good. That's well, good. We're not tied or sick or anything, so we can just proceed to do the social link that we need to do today, which is strength. And it's at this point that I'm pretty sure you need a strength persona, so make sure you have Valkyrie today. Also, if you talk to Yuko here, she'll mention something interesting. Well, not yet, but she will mention it soon. So yeah, let's spend time. This is actually quite a long social link scene. And quite a significant one for Yuko. And fell over and gave the enemy another action. Yeah, I would like to see how that story goes. Any of these is fine. Remember how everyone had to write an essay on bullying at this school? And this is also a question where either of them works. Why don't you plan to confront them? Pretty sure that Yuko would be pretty good at slapping people, considering that she trains quite often. So now we head to a new location, Polonia Mall. Again, I'd like to know the context of this. Yes, they definitely are. Oh look, it's the nameless NPCs who just have descriptions instead of names. Gary Sue, don't get any ideas. So, Gary Stu's been mistaken for dating someone twice now. And an old man is convinced that his wife has the hots for him as well. Yep, typical Gary Stu. Yeah, seriously, tell that to Rinka. Oh, sick burn, I love it. Oh yeah, you totally don't have a clue what she's talking about. Oh, I love that. So the culprit is girl with white socks. Sadly, we don't have a name on them. Which is going to make pinning them for this crime much harder. And now we get to a question where the response actually matters. This is what you need to choose here. So it's backstory time. Oh, actually, maybe girl with black socks is the culprit. Yeah, well, she's a total jerk. No, Gary Stu is not mad at all, although this option is kind of amusing. You have no idea. I always feel so bad for Yuko whenever I'm doing a Max Social Links playthrough in this scene, because if you are doing a Max Social Links playthrough, you're gonna do the exact same thing to her that she suffered all those years ago. Yeah, you're talking to the wrong person here. He plays with emotions all the time. Yeah, this is so painful, seriously, so painful. This is why I prefer how Persona 4 handled romantic social links. Has Gary Stu actually won the heart of someone? Again, I feel so bad for her because... yeah... she's gonna be the one who falls for the wrong guy every single time. Gary Stu, you jerk. And that's only level 4 of the link. Curious. The relationship is becoming more intimate, but it's not technically a romance yet, so we don't have to worry about jealousy, which I'll discuss later. Why did she mention Kaz specifically there? Well, I guess he is the only one on the team who also has a name. Well, that's pretty obvious. At one point I thought she was going to say he's the guy who ended up in the chokehold. Which would be kind of amusing.
Where have you been?
Oh, we've been having a busy day seducing people. Huh. Okinawa does sound like an interesting place, though it has a fairly turbulent history. And you're saying the same thing. Yeah, you're not going to learn a new skill until level 18, which is annoying. Junpei doesn't need any more reasons to be depressed at the moment. Yes, they are, trust me. Well, yeah, being a boxer, you need to be smart as well as strong. Now, today is a Wednesday. You know, since we're good at the moment, I don't want to risk being tired on a day when we have to go to Tartarus, so... I think that maybe we should go to Tartarus tonight. Because like I said, we can't do it this Saturday. So we're going to have to improvise into the schedule. Missing one session of karaoke is not all that important, especially since we got 2 courage boosts from the medicine this week. So, I think next time we'll actually be going to Tartarus again. So, see you then.